back, but the United States does manage to keep the ball. And Guatemala sprung on the counterattack again. This time it's Lopez, but he's unable to find his teammate on the cross. And now the United States will counter to the counter. Taiyu with the step over, but gives the ball back. Some furious up and down action here. Cisse manages to step in front of the pass intercept for the United States, and they will slow it down. Taiyu with a nice hold-up play. Trying to find Murray, but ball goes out of bounds. And we will take a timeout. The Guatemala crowd coming to their feet with a large ovation for their team. Again, it hasn't necessarily been the prettiest soccer from Guatemala, but they have taken advantage of their chances. The United States has been very complacent on defense. High press for the United States and bringing numbers forward in attack has left them vulnerable on the counter, and Guatemala has taken advantage of that. Again, just want to mention our sponsors who were so important in being able to put this game on: Telemundo and Tecate Light. And thanks to Monterey Promotions for arranging this game. Bernie Lavoie of the Ontario Fury has really identified Bakersfield as a good market for indoor soccer, and I think you can see why that the crowd's gotten really into it. Bernie has a long relationship here with the general manager, Rabobank Arena, Steve Eckerson, who is the former general manager at Citizens Business Bank in Ontario, where the Fury play. This beautiful surface we borrowed from the Ontario Fury. Oh, and a shot from Taiyu goes well over the net. Just a gorgeous indoor soccer surface. Orozco falls down, and now Ruiz is trapped in attack. Cisse comes up with the ball. Tries to find Marcus Jordan in the corner. We haven't seen much of Marcus Jordan. And that Guatemala counter is quickly snuffed out by the United States. Oh, Taiyu. Pardo tried to find Taiyu on that long ball forward. Ruiz took a spill. Taiyu wanted to call some physical contact there. Ruiz is the last man between Taiyu and the net. Nice bounce pass off the dasher for Guatemala, but United States is able to take possession, and Claire will come forward now. He's got Taiyu to his left, but some physical defending there by Jaime Torres leads to a foul just outside of the United States attacking zone. Claire's going to take this free kick himself. He's got Jordan in the box with Taiyu right to the left of it. And instead he finds Corey Murray, who is wandering in on the left-hand side of the attacking zone, and he launched the shot about 30 feet high, just barely kept in by the net behind the goal. It was clever by Murray. It was unmarked, but just could not find a finish on that ball. Now Jordan with a clever tackle, but he's going to get called for the foul there. Freddie Ramirez went down somewhat easy. Hasn't been a very physical game thus far, to be quite honest. Again, Cienfuegos being the only player thus far sent to the penalty box. Quite a change from, Speaking of Cienfuegos, he was wide open off of a pass from himself off the end dasher board, but unable to finish it. Probably a difference to the game against U.S. and Mexico that took place here last year, which I wouldn't say was marred by physical contact, but was definitely a very physical game. It erupted into skirmishes at a couple of points. Pardo now trying to find Taiyu deep in the zone. The ball trickles forward, and Roscoe was able to clear easily. And Uzi Taiyu guilty of the foul just outside the United States offensive zone. This game is seemingly starting to find a pattern here where Guatemala is content to back up into their own zone. Try and force the United States out of possession once they get into the defensive zone and look for those counter opportunities. Easy shot handled by Pardo, and he'll try and quickly find Taiyu on the other end. He tried to play a nice pass to Farber, but was intercepted. Frank Taiyu does love to do those one-touch passes, and it did work well with his brother. You can see why he's doing it, as you see that Guatemala is just swarming him whenever he has the ball. They know how dangerous he can be with that ball at his feet. Again, setting the goal-scoring record in the MASL last year for Sonora, en route to being named MVP for the third straight season. And Guatemala has possession of the ball and almost seems like they don't know what to do with it. They have not had a lot of the ball in this half, but it has not mattered, as they've taken a 2-goal lead with 2 second-half goals, unmatched by the United States. The American Outlaws Bakersfield chapter trying to get the crowd involved, at least the USA partisan crowd with the USA chant. Guatemala, though, springs an attack. And it's Wanderlei Ruiz, who was snuffed out by the United States defense. Give a shout out to the American Outlaws Bakersfield chapter. A lot of other chapters, folks from other chapters have made their way up here from American Outlaws South Bay and Los Angeles. I believe we have a couple of folks from the Fresno chapter. Dave Lee, the president of the American Outlaws Bakersfield chapter, doing a great job in getting this all put together for the local chapter. For those of you who were unable to make the game locally but maybe watching on the Facebook live stream, there is a post-game gathering hosted by the American Outlaws. Both teams will be present. Oh, a turning shot from Taiyu, but just can't find the net. He's in a tough position on the left-hand side of the goal there. But we were saying a post-game celebration at Bootleggers Bar and Grill on Oak Street. Both teams will be in attendance. Put on by American Outlaws. Very kind of Bootleggers to do that. The dangerous free kick here. Claire, well blocked in the middle of the rectangle there for Guatemala. Now Taiyu trying a dangerous back heel to his brother, but unable to find him. You gotta have the feeling that, as Guatemala is able to get numbers into their attacking zone. United States manages to recover. Danger not over yet, though. Oh, that's a pretty 1-2 play. That is a pretty 1-2 play by Guatemala, and Wanderlei Ruiz now manages to finish it and give Guatemala the 3-goal lead. Wow, the U.S. is just complacent defensively. They had it 2 to 3 to 4, or at least a man or two advantage in their zone, and just left man unmarked there. It looks like Matt Clare left his man unmarked, and Nelson Santana wasn't able to keep up with Wanderlei as he moved into the zone. So with exactly 2 minutes left, 43rd minute, Wanderlei Ruiz makes it a 3-goal lead for Guatemala. And we said it before, but this is an impressive performance for Guatemala coming off the 6-1 loss last night to Ontario. A team that, as you would expect, isn't a traditional power in arena soccer or mini football, just like with outdoor soccer. Guatemala is a smaller country, but their team has certainly come to play today. We'll have another timeout. These U.S. fans are somewhat stunned. And it really is somewhat stunning, as the United States has had the ball in the Guatemalan half most of the quarter and have just been unable to find the back of the net and have got punished on the other end. Some sloppy defending and some razor edge finishing by Guatemala on the counter. So just to recap, we have 3 third quarter goals as we come down to the final minutes of the quarter. Patrick Ruiz scoring soon after the quarter started. That was his 2nd goal of the game, so he's got on the brace now. And then Diego Cienfuegos scoring the 37th minute. And Wanderlei Ruiz just a minute or 2 ago, making it 6-3. Guatemala. They'll have a dangerous free kick situation here with shortly less than a minute and a half left in the quarter. This is Carlos Lopez at the top of the goal. Goes to Christian De Leon, but he's unable to connect with a pass. Tayu presses Orozco, manages to force the turnover, and then Guatemala regains possession. Oh, Farber able to find Tayu right in the middle of the semicircle, and you won't get a better chance than that, and you would bet even money on Tayu to score from that spot, and he whiffed it way high. For the most part, the United States has had difficult chances tonight, but they have missed a few really good chances. Guatemala, on the other hand, when they've gotten good chances and even semi-good chances, they've been able to make something of it. Under 30 seconds here. United States will look for one last chance before the quarter ends. Oh, a nice header from Farber. Leads to a nice header from Tayu, but an amazing acrobatic save from Orozco to keep it out of his own goal. Diving to his left. And that's how the quarter will end. So the United States has managed to create some chances with this high press they've brought out to start the half, but they haven't been able to finish those chances. And Guatemala has been able to capitalize on the counter. The United States will have 15 minutes to try and find those 3 equalizing goals. You have to imagine they'll continue to lean on Frank Tayu heavily. He did have those 2 really good chances to end the third quarter, missing the one and having the really great save made by Orozco on the second chance. And both these teams preparing for next month's Pan American Cup in mini football, which will take place in Guatemala City. So Guatemala will have the home field advantage for that competition. Mini football, as we mentioned before, slightly different than the arena game. It takes place outdoors and features 7 men aside as opposed to 6. But these two teams, as currently composed, will be the teams that will be headed to Guatemala City next month for that competition. You can find all the information about that at the World Mini Football Federation website. And again, we encourage you to stay tuned to this page for coverage of the 2 United States friendlies coming up May 5th and May 6th against the national team of Canada. The first game taking place in Muskegon, Wisconsin on Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. And the second game taking place in Mississauga near Toronto, Canada on the 6th of May. No word yet. I would imagine that Phil Salvaggio of the Sockers will be back to manage the team for those 2 games. Of course, Bernie Laval will be in attendance as the general manager of this U.S. team. Right now, Bernie's trying to find an answer. His squad needs to make up a 3-goal deficit here in the 4th quarter. And they certainly have the weapons to do that, and they've created the chances enough that you think that they could do that. Guatemala's lived on razor's edge, giving up some chances. These Guatemalan players are into it, though. They are encouraging the Guatemalan partisans to make some noise, and Guatemalan fans are obliging them. Should be an electric 4th quarter. Obviously, a 3-goal deficit in arena soccer is nowhere near the same as a 3-goal deficit in the outdoor game. And goals come fast and furious here in this version of soccer. But you do have to figure the United States has to press forward a little bit. A goal here in the first minute or 2 could really change the complexion of this game. I'm looking for a chance, but Rocco manages to clear it, but only as far as Claire. He can't steady the ball, and it looks like Guatemala may have a breakout chance, but well stopped there. I believe that's Germain. United States back on the attack now. Oh, and deflected shot. Oh, and Orozco with another miraculous save for Guatemala. You have to say, we still have 14 minutes left. If you're looking for a man of the match, Byron Orozco is high up on that list. Of course, Patrick Ruiz has been stalwart defensively and has 2 goals, so he may be the leader in that race as of right now. Still have to be decided here. Guatemala now takes possession, tries to break out. Hemmed in by the United States, and they could have had a 2-on-1 chance there with Farber, but managed to be stopped by Guatemala. Now the deep ball played into Cienfuegos. He'll try to play one around the Dashers. And that was a bit of a touchy situation with Nelson Santana. Not a lot of great communication there with Boris Pardo in net for the United States. Tayu now trying to find Matt Clare. Orozco comes out but retreats back to his net. Now Ozzy Tayu. Cisse inside, tried to play a pass to Tayu off the dasher board. It was a clever play, but Guatemala retreating in defense, able to stifle that. Now Matt Clare brings the ball across the offensive side. Tayu, one touch pass back to Clare. misses a shot from the left boards. Uzi Tayu manages to retake the ball, brings it into the offensive zone, misses his brother on a header chance. A couple of shots wide for the United States. You do get the feeling that a goal may be coming here for the United States. They're just spending so much time in the Guatemalan zone. Guatemala really playing with fire here, although now there's a counter opportunity. And Luis Suarez brings down Cisse. And luckily enough for the United States, as Cisse was the only man back to stop that chance. Now Tayu trying to find Marcus Jordan. Again, the United States aggressive in the press in the Guatemalan zone. Oh, now Roscoe got clipped by Jordan. It didn't look like a lot of contact, but obviously the goalkeeper does get the benefit of the doubt as a protected player. Roscoe might have done a great job selling that as well. He's been impressive, both in making saves and maybe possibly in doing a little bit of acting. But of course, one of the nice things about arena soccer as opposed to the outdoor game is the clock stops in situations like this. Obviously, as we see the replay, there was a little contact there. We're so used to in matches, especially between the United States and a CONCACAF team like Guatemala in the outdoor game, seeing those time-wasting tactics employed late in games. And that's something you're really unable to do in the arena soccer format. Time running short here for the United States. At some point, they're going to have to start thinking about possibly bringing Pardo off for an extra attacker. Again, you do feel like they're having the better run of it. I don't necessarily, well, I would say that this result is against the run of play, but the United States has definitely spent more time in the Guatemalan zone and vice versa. And again, a valid foul, but possibly some embellishment on the Guatemalan side. That was Jaime Torres who ended up on the turf. I would say in many respects a well officiated game thus far by these MASL officials. Oh, a dangerous ball off the dasher. And again, the United States only with one man back, only with Corey Murray back in defense. Obviously the situation of the game warrants them putting numbers forward in attack, but Guatemala unlucky to not come up with a chance there. I haven't mentioned his name yet. I apologize for that, but Aldo Caballeros, the head coach of this Guatemalan side, really developed a good plan. Guatemala, as Claire takes a dangerous free kick. Oh! And a spinning one-time goal from the veteran Nelson Santana right to the left off the dangerous free kick placement from Matt Clare. And the United States has managed to claw one back. It was a really well done kind of spinnerama move by Santana to score the goal here in the 50th minute to make it 6-4. And U.S. somewhat has life. This U.S. crowd starting to come back to life. Of course, the Outlaws have been standing the whole game, but maybe the less enthusiastic U.S. supporters have been sitting on their hands somewhat in the second half, and you can't really blame them. U.S. still energetically pressing. Guatemala pinging the ball around, hoping that these 10 minutes come off the clock fast. As I was saying, Aldo Caballeros has done a great job of turning this team around. You know, again, some of these United States players played for the Fury in that game last night, but for the most part, these guys are well rested. Most of them have not played since their last MASL game. But Guatemala, after suffering that tough defeat last night against Ontario at 6-1, having to come back 24 hours later, 2 hours up the road, and managing to put on this kind of performance is a credit to Aldo Caballeros' preparation for this team. The United States now with a chance. Taiyu. Oh, just misses an open net. Slightly to the left. It was a tough angle. I have to say, having seen the Guatemalan team before the game, they looked well refreshed. They weren't hanging their heads about that matchup last night. Of course, it was just an exhibition, and the real games will come next month in Guatemala City. Now Taiyu on the break. He's got here Jordan running with him, or Cisse running with him. Now Matt Clare on the right-hand side, trying to find Taiyu on the cross. Can't do it. Guatemala's been really good at getting their numbers back on defense, and the United States just hasn't. That's been the difference so far. Now Clare with a great opportunity. Now Taiyu. Oh, and the shot is blocked all the way back out to midfield. Again, you just feel like the United States is knocking on the door, but Guatemala keep that door closed for the next 8 minutes. Clare now finds Uzi Taiyu. And Ruiz comes out with the pack with the ball. There's a 3-on-3 opportunity here for Guatemala if they want to have it, but I think they're content to kind of hold the ball up. Although Cienfuegos managed to create a goal-scoring opportunity all by himself. Eventually came to not due to Murray's defense. Clare now on the left-hand side. Takes an ambitious shot. His left foot, well saved by Orozco. Long throw down for Luis Suarez. Going out of bounds, and the United States will get back on the attack. You have to say there is a sense of urgency from this United States team, which is good to see. They understand that time is running short. Guatemala content to play keep away. Only so much space there, though. And Taiyu manages to come up with a turnover. And a sweet finish in the middle of goal. He'll retrieve that ball because he knows they need one more. And you kind of knew it was coming. You know, a goal scorer like Frank Taiyu had several great chances and finally manages to convert on one. That high press paying off, creating that turnover deep in the Guatemala zone. And Taiyu with the fantastic finish in the 53rd minute, his second of the game. And now the United States trails by only one. Guatemala is going to take a timeout and try and figure out how they can defend this United States attack over the next 7 minutes. Of course, the U.S. also has to be cognizant as they press more numbers forward to try and get this equalizer, not to give up those counter opportunities in the back. I do feel like if Guatemala can snatch one more goal, that might be just about enough to win it. thought we would get an exciting game. And thus far, it has not disappointed. United States trailing by only 1 goal here with 7 minutes left. Now it's the Guatemalan supporters who seem to be sitting on their hands. Deep ball for Guatemala, well handled by Pardo. Frank Tayu spins, brings the ball deep in his own zone. And not quite sure what's been called here, but we're going to have a drop kick. United States retains possession. Oh, an ambitious shot by Manny Villegas. Orozco will start with the long throw upfield. Physical defense by Uzi Tayu. Christian De Leon wanted the foul, but it's late in the game. The refs are content to swallow the whistles and let the U.S. play. Bringing a little urging Farber on. Now he finds Tayu. Now Tayu with the spin in the goal! And the U.S. has their equalizer. And Frank Tayu, just as advertised, with the hat trick. Goals within a minute of each other to even the game here now at 6. It was a very similar goal, you have to say, to his second. The only thing, this one didn't really come from a turnover. It came off of a really great pass by Brian Farber, the captain, managing to find the Guatemalan zone. And it's been no secret what the United States has wanted to do, and that's find Frank Tayu right in the middle of that rectangular area and let him go to work, and Farber was able to do that. And unlike some of the chances in the first half, and even in the third quarter, Frank Tayu was able to finish. Just very physical. He's a very tough player to get out of that zone. Of course, as we mentioned, a 3-time reigning MVP in the MASL. And an impressive outdoor soccer player, to be honest. He led San Antonio FC in the USL in scoring a few years ago. Only 28 years old. Now Tayu plays it to Claire. Claire looks for the shot but misses. Cisse's in the middle of that action, manages to come up with the ball. And the U.S. is thinking, yeah, we tied it, but with the opportunities we've had in this second half, there's definitely a chance for the U.S. to win. That pendulum has swung here. But they have to be cautious of those counter opportunities. Again, as you see on your screen, Pro Soccer and Bakersfield.com. Some great information about bringing a possible MASL team to Bakersfield. I believe you can even put down a deposit, get your seats locked in if that team does manage to come to fruition. And I think it would be an exciting opportunity for Bakersfield to add a professional soccer team. Of course, Rabobank Arena, home of the Bakersfield Condors of the AHL. Condors just completing their 20th season. A beloved institution in Bakersfield, but unfortunately some of the other pro franchises in Bakersfield have gone away. The Bakersfield Blaze formerly played in the California League of Baseball. The Bakersfield Jam of the NBA D-League, now G League. had an ownership change and moved to Arizona. So right now the Condors are the only professional game in town. And it would be nice to have another team for Bakersfield to root for. Bakersfield, sports-loving community, and a very passionate soccer community. Two gorgeous soccer parks in Bakersfield host numerous youth and adult tournaments. Back into play here. Susie Tayu tries to make something of it, but now Guatemala on the counter opportunity. Oh, just missed by Cienfuegos. He just put it to the left of Boris Pardo's net, and luckily it came off the plexiglass into Pardo's hands. And now the long shot ball opportunity for Murray, looking for Tayu. Tayu tries that spin move again, but this time he's to the right of the Guatemalan goal. This is going to be an active last 4 minutes, you have the feeling. The United States wants to put a stake in it. They've scored 3 unanswered here in the fourth to tie the game, and would love nothing more than to find that 7th goal and the winner. But Guatemala not content just to play for the end of regulation. They're going to keep coming on that counter as they have all night. Long toss now for Pardo. Oh, a nice little one touch there from Frank Tayu, but just a little heavy. Now Cisse tries to blow past his man on the right side, and he finds space. Oh! And his shot from a tough angle. Just on that may have hit the crossbar on the left corner of the goal, looking to go over 90. Cisse from a real tough angle. He is fast on the ball. Now Uzi Tayu, trying to coordinate action. Farber, the captain on the left-hand side, tries to find Frank Tayu right in the middle of the goal. Uzi Tayu serving as the point man here for the U.S. attack. Guatemala collapsing defensively. Under 3 minutes now. The I believe chant coming up from the Outlaws. And you have to feel that the United States team also believes that they will win, given the chances they've created in this fourth quarter. Now Farber running along his own yellow line there. Pushed in the back, but no foul call. Uzi Tayu deep in the zone. Sends it back out. To Santana, who just missed with a long-range shot, putting it off the top of the cross, or top of the goal mouth. Oh, and a spin move from Tayu. And I believe Orozco got just a fingertip on it to make a nice save and deny Tayu his 4th. Now Guatemala tries to come back on the counter, but the U.S. retreats well defensively. And you have to say that has not happened a lot tonight, but they're back. Their defensive intensity is back, and they're looking for this winning goal here. Now Cisse finds Uzi Tayu. Oh! And it is Frank Tayu with his 4th. Is that the winner? 7 goals for the United States. 4 goals for the goal machine himself, Frank Tayu. And the United States is 1 minute and 41 seconds away from what was really an improbable victory. Going into the fourth quarter down 6-3. 4 unanswered goals, 3 of them from the Rating MASL MVP. The goal scoring legend, Frank Tayu. And now Guatemala put in a position they really have not been in all night, where they have to press forward. They cannot hold back and wait for that counter. You have to imagine they'll start thinking about bringing off Orozco for that extra attacker soon as well. And the United States has to maintain that defensive intensity they've showed so far this quarter. Now Matt Clare content to hold the ball. Tayu now. It's a 3-on-2 opportunity here, but Guatemala manages to stop it. And they'll press forward. It's Ruiz. Ruiz has been so dangerous tonight. Oh, but his pass can't find his man in his offensive zone, and now the United States breaks out on their own counterattack. Oh, and it's Clare just missing off the top upper crossbar. Tayu now content to hold possession. We're under a minute. The United States with the 1-goal lead. An impressive and improbable comeback by the United States, but they have to hang on here for the last 45 seconds. Now a nice move, but a shot off the left dasher board. And Murray will hold in his own defensive end. Now playing forward for Germain. Germain finds Clare. Clare passes it back to Murray, and they're just counting down the seconds here. Under 30. Pardo holding the ball. Ruiz wondering where his help is. Now back to Pardo as we near 10 seconds. Is the U.S. really going to do it here? Coming back from 3 goals down in the 4th quarter. Now Clare. One last opportunity for Guatemala, but the ball doesn't get there, and the United States has done it. They have come back from being down 6-3 to start the 4th quarter to win the game 7-6. What an impressive performance, and the Outlaws are going crazy. The giant American flag is out. And you really have to give it to Guatemala. They had a plan and they stuck with it, and it worked extremely well for 3 quarters. Being content to allow the United States possession and attacking on the counter, and they finished well on the counter. Byron Roscoe was excellent in goal for most of the night. Patrick Ruiz also played very well for Guatemala, but in the end it was just too much. Too much firepower from the United States. And it was 4 goals in the 4th quarter. It started with Nelson Santana scoring with 10 minutes left. And then Frank Tayu took over. Goals in the 53rd, 54th. And in the very last minute with 1 minute and 14 seconds left to give the United States that 1-goal advantage. And you have to say Frank Tayu is the man of the match, the Tecate Light man of the match. 4 goals for the United States. So an exciting, impressive game here for the U.S. And they'll be back in action May 5th against Canada in Muskegon, Wisconsin. Stay tuned to the U.S. National Team Facebook page for all the information on that game. And signing off from Rabobank Arena in Bakersfield, California, this is Nick Wynn. The United States beats Guatemala 7-6.